Welcome to the Life Currency Podcast. I'm your host, Bob Lozano, a show that explores success, growth, and opportunity in the restaurant industry. A restaurant podcast by restaurant people, powered by F&P Media. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the TRA 2025, and we have just bumped into two very interesting gentlemen here. One in the media space, JD in the food and beverage, and some media experience, right?
Sure, a little bit.
So, really excited about this chat. JD offered to sit down and chat with us for a little bit about what he's doing in the food and beverage space. So we do want to learn exactly what you're doing. Feel free to ask us. The effort here, JD, Life Currency is all about sharing knowledge to people in the restaurant industry that can help them on their personal or their professional career, right? So it started as, just to give you a little background, it started as, we would tell our team members, hey, we can only pay you so much. We can't pay you what you're worth. So we're going to give you everything else we have, which is knowledge, advice, etc.
Exactly.
And it's evolved. It's been around for decades. And now it's a business podcast for the restaurant industry. So thanks for jumping on, man.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. And yeah, I was just walking the trade show floor and I ran into this couple that said, hey, we're doing this podcast. Are you interested? I'm like, I saw their shirt. I was like, Life Currency Podcast. What's that about? And then they told me about your affiliation and that you're a restaurateur.
Exactly.
So let's start there and then I'll back up into my story.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been a franchisee 14 years. I'm a second generation operator. My folks started as a cook and a cashier in a Dairy Queen 38 years ago. And they grew the business. I entered the business shortly after college. I then became a franchisee. Dad and I don't see eye to eye on everything. We kind of go our own ways, right?
Yeah.
First time that's ever happened, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I go through this humbling experience. I would say he kind of goes through this growth experience of like, hey, well, we need to evolve, and we come back together, merge the companies. They get out of the business. He's now my landlord, and we start to grow, and we're up to. Right now, we operate 38 units.
Wow.
And we introduced the Schlotzsky's brand, the Cinnabon brand as well, all in franchising. And then we started real estate and media, but all ties back to F&P. So that's our company. F&P stands for food and people. So keep it simple, man.
Oh, I love that. F&P.
Yeah, keep it real simple. That's what we love. We think life's much better with better people and better food. So
see, and that kind of segues into my story is because I am getting ready to launch Texas Food Lovers, which is a mobile loyalty app and marketing platform and all kinds of stuff. But because I love two things, Texas and food, right? So Texas Food Lovers, like your F&P, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were asking me, what is Texas Food Lovers? I'll give you the short elevator pitch. It is essentially a mobile app and platform because there's a lot of loyalty and discount card programs that are out there where people have to pull a card out of their wallet and they get 5%, 10% off at various restaurants. And they're usually really regional, or I call it micro-regional. Like there's one south of Houston, for instance, very small market. We are taking that concept, developing an app, and then going statewide with it, with expansion plans already into Louisiana, Tennessee, Florida, and California. That's our long-range plan. Over 5 years, I would say.
So when did you start?
So the whole idea of Texas Food Lovers was born out of the pandemic because I saw so many friends I knew, restaurateurs, operators, lose their business, lose everything. People I knew personally got foreclosed on, lost everything. And I said, there's got to be a way without taking 30% like some delivery fees charge.
Yeah.
Without doing brutal. That to where we have to give the owners and operators a opportunity or a platform to where they can market their business without it costing them anything. So we don't charge the owners and operators anything up front. We charge the app subscribers and the users that are there to support the business. And then, so it's free for the restaurants that are out there that are listening, that are watching. You can join our platform for free.
And it's live now, right?
It will be this fall. We're looking for an October launch where right now it's done. I can show it to you. We're waiting on app approval from the App Store and Google Play.
Very cool. So let's rewind. Love it, man. Thanks for sharing, and I hope it goes well.
Yes.
There's definitely a need for that. There's been a lot of oversaturation in technology and in loyalty right now, and so any type of penetration you can make with the Texas community, I think will be appreciated by other Texans because I know you mentioned Texas and food. what he's saying is Texas has the best people. Right?
Texas has the best people for sure.
We can be biased, right? We're a bunch of Texas boys. Are you originally from Texas?
I am born and raised in Texas, but I've traveled and lived all over the world. So
nice. Very cool.
But I was born in Amarillo. I've got connections there. I'm down here in the Southeast. I used to live in Dallas. So Texas is definitely home.
Cool, man. So let's rewind a little bit. Now tech, but before tech, did you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Okay.
So back in 2003, I ended up going to culinary school to become a chef. Did that. 2005, I won the Houston Iron Chef competition, which was just a student competition. But it was at the school that I went to, which was the Art Institute, which is defunct now, against the U of H, and we won. And it was televised, and that was a pretty big deal.
Very cool.
Got written up, then opened my own wine bar, which is called Three Oaks Wine Bar and Bistro, down in the League City, Clear Lake area, south of Houston. Then from there, sold that place, ended up being a food and beverage supervisor at Deloitte University in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then the general manager for Bonnell's Fine Texas Cuisine. And then shortly after that is when I saw the pandemic happen, and I saw these people that I knew lose everything. And I'm like, God, and recently I've seen all these delivery apps and all this kind of stuff, but they charge so much money to be a part of that platform that I was like, it's not a sustainable model. It's just not. So what can I do with my experience and background in the industry to help grow these businesses? And that's what I developed Texas Food Lovers.
Well, that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing, because we've been obviously marketing real talk, real strategy. I think that's important for us because we all have something, we all have a motive at the end of the day. We're here at the Restaurant Association to learn, to grow, to sell, to buy. I mean, we have a motive, right? But behind that, we really believe that it's bigger than just our business, right? We believe that we all need profit. But at the end of the day, we're a community that's trying to drive purpose, right? And I feel the reason I bring this up, and just so you know, the tie back is, with your vast amount of experience in the food industry, you probably saw the food industry from a lot of different perspectives.
Oh gosh, I worked front of house, back of house, managed.
Yeah, and so I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, but that little seed that you've now mentioned twice of like, hey, like there's a better way to do this. I think that drives purpose, and that's has to be a reason why you're willing to go through all the app production and get all the technology, the marketing out, and go all the way through with it, because there's a sense of purpose of, I can do something better for the restaurant industry, because they're essentially, in some cases, being taken advantage of with different other apps, right?
Sure.
Maybe the business model changes, and maybe people don't have those malintentions. But my point is that I think when businesses are driven by purpose, they just do that much better. And it seems like you're pretty passionate about your new project. So,
I'm extremely passionate about it, and I have to talk real quick about your podcast because I'm super excited about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because you mentioned something when we weren't on camera. You said that you're doing a podcast specifically for the restaurant, food, and beverage space.
Yep.
Because of your experience, and you've been there, you understand the struggles, you understand what people are going through. And that was really passionate topic that you were talking about.
Yep.
So share that story and why you're doing that.
Yeah. So I'll give you the short version of who we are, right? But I mentioned F&P. So F&P Group, we do real estate, restaurant operations, and media. Media, this is our first project under F&P Media, so Life Currency. I kind of told you a little bit of how that started. We intend to talk to other industry leaders, other restaurant owners, and continue to share what's helped us grow our business to where it's at today, which is advice or practical value that people can apply in their personal, professional careers that can help them, give them a little more clarity, right? So this initiative is going to stay just that. We do have ambitions to want to create other programs or shows and get into the foodie side of the business, get into the food review side of the business. And so we're really just trying to build passionate people around food and people, like people that care about other people and people that want to deal with food and try to build on that. So that's a little bit about the overarching strategy. But really, man, we're taking it one day at a time. I had never been on camera before until maybe occasionally you go down to the news station or you do a PR thing, but I'm not a camera guy. It's a lot easier for me when I'm talking to somebody because I feel like I can focus here instead of the camera. Right. But I think it's very important as business owners that we remain relevant. I think it's very important that if we want to continue to grow our brands, we got to learn to storytell. I think it's important that we put ourselves out there as business owners. So this was also an effort to say, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. And yes, I sell, burgers, baskets, and blizzards. But behind that, there's real people with real stories that can have something to offer. And I have a lot to learn. So why not have a channel like this where we can continue learning from others, but also share what we're learning as well along the way.
Right. Yeah. It totally makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know if that answered your original question, but that's how this started. And we're going to continue to see where it takes us. There's really no wrong or right. Yeah, I've had a couple people come up and say, what are you selling? And I'm like, nothing. And they laugh. And I'm like, no, I'm really not selling anything. Like I
was going to ask you if there's like, are you going to have advertisers or do you have advertisers?
If that comes, that'd be great. Yeah. No, right now, I get it. We have to work it just like anything else, but we haven't sought out sponsorships, advertising. I mean, we just launched a couple months ago and, we surpassed, I think they were saying 100,000 views. And so we're feeling pretty optimistic, but more than anything, it's not about the quantity. We want purposeful and meaningful connections so that maybe one day I get to call JD afterwards and say, hey, you said something about this. You were on with Life Currency. We had a connection here. We can lean on that in the future so that you're more successful and so that I'm more successful, right? So it opens up those.
That you brought me up to a really good point, and I hope this is okay. We're actually starting in about 2 weeks. We're finally to the point where we're going to be able to onboard restaurants.
Okay.
So any of your listeners, watchers, viewers that want to, they can reach out to me. My email, best way, JD, just JD. At TexasFoodLovers.com, or I'll give you my phone number. It's 855-TEX-FOOD.
Awesome,
so
man.
It's super easy to remember. 855-TEX-FOOD. Call me up and we can get you onboarded. It's free to join our platform. We'd love to just help people get the word out there. Then the app, which is a different part of it, that's going to be probably around October. And then once we get that up and running, their restaurant, their business, your business will be live on our platform and we'll be able to promote it to everybody. We use geolocation responsive marketing. Direct SMS text messaging as well. So if people are in your neighborhood and they're driving by, not all the time, not every time they drive by, but periodically they'll get a SMS alert on their phone. Hey, stop in for 5% off or a free whatever, So that's one of the things that we're doing. Restaurant owners are also able to schedule events. They can toggle participation, exclude certain days, exclude happy hour, include happy hour, whether they have brunch, live music, anything like that. It's all able to be published in real time directly to the app, which is very cool.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to check it out. And kudos to you to jumping in and into the technology space. It's a very competitive, but obviously a pivotal and important space for us as restaurateurs. I always ask people or people ask me what's your opinion on technology or whatever. And I'm like, restaurateurs, it's interesting because sometimes we know the least about technology, but we have the most of it sometimes.
Right, you're right.
We need a lot of it. There's drive-through restaurant technology, there's loyalty programs, and everyone has their own different opinion. But man, that's really cool. I look forward to seeing it and checking it out. And thank you for asking about the sponsorships and how this works. We don't really have a very cookie cutter recipe. We don't make a living off of this. This is not how I feed my family at the end of the day. I'm a restaurateur. I'm thinking through restaurateur. I'm an operator. I love what I do. It was an avenue to continue to network like we're doing here. Ability to meet. I've learned, and I think I told you this, but I've learned more in the last 5 months podcasting than I have in the last 2 years. Just because of the people and the connections that we've met. And so I really appreciate when people, I get it. It's at least, and I'm projecting here. I get it, but it's a vulnerable exercise. You got to sit in front of a camera. You got to do all this, But at the same time, if we keep our passion and our purpose, which is what I've had to do, I remember that. Hey, no, I lead a group of 1,000 people, and in order to make sure their livelihoods are secure, I've got to remain relevant. I've got to make sure I stay in the know, and I've got to be able to put myself out there. And so that's why we said, well, let's approach this fearlessly. And going back to the sell comment, we're not trying to sell. We're trying to build a community. We're trying to build purpose within the restaurant industry. And we're trying to associate ourselves with like-minded people that are willing to sit here and talk with me and talk with others and see what is birthed from these conversations so that other people that need a little more clarity can get that. Yeah.
So along those lines, let me ask you, you've been in this for about 5-6 months now, as far as the podcast goes. what's the one thing you've learned from somebody else, even after over 10 years of experience as owner-operator, or 14 years, I think you said.
Yep.
What is the one thing that you learned from somebody else that you didn't know or whatever?
Man, there's so many things. And thank you for asking that, because there's so many things and things are just running through my head. I'll start with one. I met with an individual. Now I consider him a friend of mine. His name's Fred. He owns and operates McDonald's. He was on the podcast. His episode is out, but he shared about getting a consultant about how to improve his profit sharing program for his GMs, and how they were going through a difficult time, and how to share a little bit about how to communicate the changes and how to communicate. And I never thought, oh yeah, there might be somebody in the industry that can help drive a message to my own team, because I know I have a good heart, but this person could come in and try to curate it in a way that captures what I'm trying to say, but not in a word vomit way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I thought that was pretty impactful. And I'm like, oh, I would have never thought to do that. I would have just kind of hoped and prayed and said, please don't hate me. I think this is the right decision for the business,
Right.
So that was one thing I've learned. Another thing that I really learned is we met a young man this is young man. I mean, he looks young, but I don't know how old he is. He has a health and wellness brand. They're up to 10 locations now. And the guy, I was so logical about the business, and I was just thinking, I'm a franchise guy, so I'm thinking, drive-through next, loyalty app next. And he was so passionate about his project and about health that he said, look, this is one of the things he said. You can check out the episode. It's pretty fascinating. But he's like, no, I don't think I want to do a drive-through. It doesn't match up with my vision. My vision is to drive health and movement. I sell food and beverage, but my mission is to make America healthier, right? And through my brand. So he's like, a drive-through is convenience. And no, I'd rather you get down because it inspires movement and just make that little extra effort. And I'm like, dude, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, dude, I'm serious. Like, I'm the mission means more to me than the incremental business of a drive-through.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's
wow,
awesome.
Right? I'm like, that is freaking awesome, And so
if you believe in your business and your concept that much that you're going to jeopardize profit over purpose.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Right. And so it's things.
What's the name of his business? Do you remember?
Fork to Fit. Yeah. Yeah,
Fork?
I do.
What is it?
Fork to Fit. Yeah, it's down in the valley.
Okay, cool.
They've got up to 10 units. Yeah. Shout out, Alex. Thanks for all your support, man. He's been great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. He's been great. He's been a big supporter of the podcast and stuff. Okay. You can check out his episode. They're growing fast. They're doing some really cool stuff. But anyway, so those little instances, and I could go on, JD, honestly, but there's those little instances where as business owners, I feel like, hey, I understand what I'm doing. If I just keep marching, I know. But then you get that little comment and it kind of changes your perspective and keeps you in check, or, teaches you something. And so the podcast has just continued to open up opportunities that, man.
Let me ask you another question, because off camera, I'm here with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Who was in radio.
Shout out Doug in radio.
Well, yeah, he was, as a matter of fact, something, he has a lot of value that I really think that he would be able to add to this conversation, because he's been in marketing and he owns marketing agency, and he's done a lot. He's really helping us bring Texas Food Lovers to market as well. And because of his experience, he would be so embarrassed if I told you who he actually is and what he actually did. He would get so mad. But he's a very, very well-known Houston icon in the radio industry.
We're talking about you, Doug. Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking. Hey, Doug, come here.
Come in here, Doug. Come on.
Here.
Attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. So just real quick. So what I was wanting to do is, because we're talking about the podcast.
Yes.
And he has like 100,000 views of the podcast.
Impressive.
We are having a great segment. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. But one of the things I wanted to bring up and possibly have him come in and sit in on a short segment is to talk about marketing for the restaurant industry, because of your background with noisemaker communications and all that. And
flatters me.
Yeah. But ask him about his experience in radio as well, because I think your listeners would definitely get a kick out of that, if you're open to sharing that.
Sure.
Well, the first ever substitution in the podcast history. Let's do it.
We're gonna do a quick substitution. It's not really; it's just an inclusion. I wanted to bring Doug Harris in. He's my special projects manager for Texas Food Lovers, and he's helping us bring it to market. He has a wealth of marketing background and experience and expertise. in all kinds of ways. He's got very interesting stories or anecdotes he can share with your audience. And if anybody has any marketing questions, Noisemaker Communications would be a great source for that. So I'm going to get out of my seat and let you talk to Doug.
Yeah, come on in. JD, I know we're going to keep talking.
Yeah, we'll talk. Absolutely, man.
I'm going to give you back your tag.
So thanks, sir.
I'm going to give you mine and my phone.
Oh, yours. And I also thought you could just
this is a true marketer. He takes off the tag. He knows his brand, his individual brand. I need to learn that. Come on in, Doug. How are you, man?
Living the dream, playing the hits.
You said that. I like that. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Marketing background. You're here at TRA. Is this your first time at TRA?
It is. I can't remember being at a convention of this nature, of this size, in many, many years. And I'm impressed with the vitality of it. I'm impressed with the turnout on a Sunday afternoon. I'm impressed with the energy here and people seeking questions, answers, solutions. And that's always very encouraging for any industry.
Yeah, the TRA has done a remarkable job of community building. But I will shout out just the restaurant industry as a whole. I really think that you'll meet a lot of some of the best people in the restaurant industry. You might meet some degenerates as well, and so, but at this,
not me. I would. Let's say this is a resilient energy.
That's exactly right.
And to experience and survive what they did in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
and an unimaginable circumstance, at least in the continental United States, we haven't had to survive. We've survived natural disasters, weather disasters, particularly here on the Gulf Coast. But COVID, that was something brand new. And the fear of going out and being around people, that was a tough thing to overcome. And yet, the restaurant industry says, drive-through, pickup. Oh, well, and I saw restaurants that completely reorganized their outreach.
Yep.
Completely reorganized their outreach and said, okay, we'll meet you at the curb. Here's a guy that's just going to do that. And here's how you order online. So resilience.
You hit it on the money, and I want to shout out all the restaurant industry right now, because you talk about COVID, we had a call to action and we rise to the occasion. We just had recently a really tragic event in Texas with the Kerrville floods. TRA is the first one there, helping out, provide food, provide food and beverages for people helping, etc. But the restaurant industry really does. It has a deep passion. It runs, even myself, I'm a very passionate person. We want to continue to help. I really think that if we can get ourselves a little bit smarter sometimes, and I'm talking about myself, and get ourselves out of the weeds, we can really do some amazing stuff with our platforms and our restaurants. And so thank you for acknowledging that, Doug. That means a lot. But yeah, so what building a brand and building a restaurant, I think there's some, it goes hand in hand. So what can you tell us about restaurateurs, local restaurateurs that have their own restaurant, but also are trying to build a local brand?
Well, I would tell them, first of all, that everyone has limited resources. Coca-Cola at some point says, that's it. No more money to spend on that brand or that launch or whatever. So don't be concerned about, I don't have the money to spend on this. There are ways to get around things. The technology is your friend, and embrace it, learn about it. If it's not in your wheelhouse, get somebody on your staff. You'd be surprised at the youth and how they manage social media and things of that nature. But from a branding standpoint, branding is one of those words that marketers sometimes use to scare their clients. Oh, you have a branding problem. You get out your checkbook. And a brand is nothing more than a promise. The brand is whenever you experience in your situation where you've got multiple outlets, the experience in Harlingen has to be equal to the experience in McAllen and equal to the experience in San Antonio and in Corpus and Houston, wherever you go and embrace that brand under those arches or whatever, it needs to be consistent for the customer, or there's a level of disconnect. And the second thing the brand people will want you to do is establish the emotion. A brand is not a set of colors anymore than it's a set of marks on a cow's butt. That's not what it's about. It's not about your logo necessarily, although I urge you to use professionals when you do your logo. What is your brand essence? What is the emotion? There's a family cafeteria chain here, and their brand experience is, I go there with Mama and the whole family, and everybody gets something, and the kids get Jell-O, and there's the blue plate special. That is the brand experience, and that is more your brand than anything else that you do. In the food industry, unlike many others, you don't have to identify what the Harvard Business School people call a unique, sustainable, competitive advantage. If I love street tacos, I will try every street taco that I can find because I want to find the best. There is that FOMO, that fear of missing out. Oh,
Yep.
have you heard about this new place? Have you heard? So there's a level of experimentation in the restaurant industry that maybe you don't have as well. Nobody buys a luxury car without test driving and they don't hop brands. They find one they stick with. Not so much in the restaurant industry. Not that you don't have your favorites and you have your favorite table and your favorite waiter, that you're not intrigued when there's a new menu item. So you don't have to necessarily have a unique, sustainable, competitive advantage. Just have something that gives a benefit to the consumer, and they can clearly identify you with that message.
Yeah, I love that, Doug. And I'll just add to that as far as, and you said it, but in our terms in the restaurant industry, consistency with that experience, right? Make sure that brand experience is so consistent. And that's what people will get to know you as. And so, well said, man. Thank you for sharing that. JD asked me what I've learned so far. I mean, I'm learning every talk, right? And that's why I'm so grateful. I'm super grateful for people that have bought into Life Currency. It really is. I think it's a beautiful community. It's a small one so far, but it's people like yourself that are willing to share that knowledge freely.
Very right.
And you could easily charge somebody for that little piece of conversation, right? But you're willing to share it and you're passionate about it. And when I ask you the question, it's not like, oh, let me figure this out. No, it's you have experience and this is what you should take into consideration when building a brand. And so I really appreciate you, man. Shout out to you and JD. I hope y'all's project continues to be successful.
Thank you.
And I hope y'all's launch goes well. I will check it out. I don't know if it'll be a fit for us, but we'll check it out and you never know.
You had El Jefe on the air just a moment ago, and he will point you in the right direction.
Exactly. So before we close up here, Doug, any other Life Currency you want to offer our viewers or listeners right now?
If your only advantage over your competitor is price, find another advantage, because I think it's an old quote from the Baskin-Robbins founders. There's not a product that somebody can't make cheaper or sell for less money. If your brand is good, people will beat a path to your door if it's consistent and provides value to them. Few pennies here and there. I understand food costs, rising food costs. Let's keep the cost per food costs down, beverage costs down, but it's really more about the experience. I have the luxury of being able to afford, for the most part, what I want. I don't have caviar every week, but when I have caviar, I want it properly presented. And
you're going to invite me.
I'm a street taco. Well, my sweetheart is a big consumer. I'm a street taco fan too. So Show me something different. I like the choice between corn and flour tortillas. I may be sacrilege, but I enjoy that. I enjoy a choice of proteins. Just find an advantage, whether it's your experience or your flavor or your secret abuela menus.
Yeah.
Find an advantage that doesn't necessarily depend on price, because the public will pay if the product is good.
Yeah, I love it, Doug. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for your wisdom, and best of luck to y'all.
Happy
Appreciate
trails.
it.
Yeah, that was Doug Harris. So for those of you that are in the Houston market or really anywhere that know Doug Harris, or you can Google him, Noisemaker Communications is his company now. But he spent the last 40, 50 years, well, since 1983 is when he got into radio. And his radio name is Junior Mintz. So he was on KLOL. He was the marketing mind behind Stevens and Pruitt, the radio show that was really popular here in Houston, and several other things that he's done in radio. And then when he retired from radio, he started Noisemaker Communications, which does marketing for all kinds of businesses everywhere. It does print, radio, TV, film. And then I heard you mention about the flooding that just occurred out in Kerr County. And he's been working with Dennis Quaid on some radio spots for that as well.
Awesome, man.
So he's a big believer in community and giving back.
Yeah.
And another good friend of mine named Morris Malikoff, who's a photographer, introduced me to Doug, and I explained to him about the concept of Texas Food Lovers, and he loved it. He loved that we're about community, Texas food, street tacos I heard him talking about. So we're about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that's it. So
awesome. Well, thank you for bringing him by. And like I told him, best of luck with the project. Thank you for your support on the Life Currency podcast. I hope this is not the last time we connect.
No, I'm going to put a banner on the app to where everybody can listen to you. So,
oh man, that would mean a lot, man.
I'll
Thank
totally
you so
do it.
much. I hope you had a great experience. I certainly did. And I look forward to keeping in touch, JD.
Bob, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Life Currency podcast. I'm your host, Bob Lozano, a show that explores success, growth, and opportunity in the restaurant industry. A restaurant podcast by restaurant people, powered by F&P Media.